Okay, welcome back. So we are putting gears in a transfer case this time. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I bought a set of 3-to-1 gears, and I've got a transfer case out of a 91 tracker. So let's pull this thing apart and see. I already pulled the back off of it and learned that you're not supposed to pull the back off of it. So let's go ahead and pull this front off of it and see if that's the right end to pull off. So. Okay. Don't know if that one has to come out or not. Let's try this. There we go. Cracked the glue loose. Let's flip it over. Flip it up probably actually. That shaft is sliding. I don't know that I want that shaft to slide out. Let's pull that keeper off. So what I'm doing, there's a little keeper in the end of that shaft. I don't know that I want that shaft to slide out with this cover. I don't know if I do, I don't know if I don't. So we're gonna go ahead and assume I don't. And let's pop this cover off of here. I like these dead blows for this kind of stuff. They now it's floating real nice and loose. They're gentle. Don't break stuff. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? All sorts of nasty, gross stuff. Okay. All right. Let's figure out which gears are the ones I'm changing out. I think it's that one right there and that one right there. Let's figure out how to do it, shall we? Oh, there we go. See, there's one. Right there. There's one of the gears I got to change. This is really gross. Let me work on this a little bit more and get back to you. I think I got it figured out. Went inside, got my new set of gears, and we got it figured out. So it is this one. The one pulled off of right here, this shaft here, and then it's that one in there. So my shift fork, what I did is I just pushed it back from the front up here. I'm gonna push it far enough back that I can just rotate it out of the way. And I'll get that cleaned up before I put it all back together. And then there's a gear in there. I gotta get out. Here, little buddy. So, probably should move the camera over here so you can see what I'm doing. And go from there.
I can sit on this.
Yeah, so we're gonna start this assembly inside of here. So I got shift fork kind of out of the way. There's one of my bearings. Shaft of this here. I gotta pull a ring off. Right there, that bearing sounds crunchy. That's not good news. Yeah. So,
I touched the corner.
Let's see if we can get that little snap ring dealy whopper. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to pry it off. So we're gonna put a little bit of, hold that piece right there. Keep it from turning. Take this one right here. And we're going to give it a little bit of tap, tap, taparoo. And it just, screwdriver, we're going to reach in there. And we're going to pop that snap ring off of there. There's a snap ring. Let's see if I can get this gear off of that shaft. The one behind it, you can see it spinning. Okay, so I figured out how to get it to start moving. This gear, it's just slid onto the shaft. So what I did is I got a pry bar back in there, just caught just a little bit of it. I'm prying against the case. A 3-jaw puller would probably do the trick here. And if you know me, if you watch my channel long enough, you know I don't have any of those fancy tools. So I'm going to continue prying. What I'm doing is grab here. Come on. I'm prying a little bit. And what I do is I just tap the end of the shaft. Not hitting it hard. I'm not trying to break the shaft. I'm not trying to break the case. Just enough to give it just that little bit of shock in there to get that vibration. And it's starting to slide off. So I'm going to continue doing this, and that gear right there is going to slide off the shaft. Let's see if I can actually get this off. Now I got a groove in there. This one might work. This is a brake adjuster tool for drum brakes. That gear is on there solid though. 3-jaw puller would probably be the correct tool for this job. There we go. Got to slide just a little bit. It's coming. It's just really slow. So you're putting a bunch of pressure on it, and you get just a tap on that end of that shaft, and it gets it to move. Let's turn that to where I can get on the gears. Yeah, we're basically off at this point. Come on. It's a bugger. There it goes. Okay. That still don't want to go. I'm just going to put my fingers in there. There it goes. Just that little bit of tap on the end of the shaft was enough to just give it that vibration, just to get it to move. So that gear is off. Set that over on our clean rag over there. And then this next one, oh yeah. Okay, now put that light in there. This gear right here, it's twin. Not really twin, it's lesser is right there. Slides out like that. So there we have it. While I got this out, I'm going to go ahead and go reach in there and see what I can do to clean. Let's look at the size difference. Look at the size difference between those two. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and then we'll start. Okay, so we got it all cleaned up in there. Good enough for its four. The problem I'm having, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to try to point it out to you. The problem I'm having is the new gear that goes in there, it's hitting the top of the case, it's hitting right there, and it's hitting right there. It won't quite fit. So I'm going to go ahead and take my die grinder, and I'm just going to grind every little bit off of that, because that case right there is thin. It's really thin. So I'm going to grind a little bit out of that right there, and a little bit out of this one right here. So because I can't quite get that bearing in there, and even I can get it to kind of start on the shaft. It goes crooked, and it's hitting here and here. So we're gonna just grind out a little bit, probably less than a 1/16 on each one. Not a lot. You know, if you don't have a die grinder, you could probably do this with a piece of sandpaper because this is aluminum. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and grind this out. Anyway, that was an ordeal. Used 2 cans of brake cleaner to get all the shavings out of there. I still don't know if I got them all, but that's okay. Is it really okay? I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna start putting this thing together. So I ground out up here on the top. It's not terribly thick, but it's okay. So this gear goes right inside of there. I didn't grind it all the way out here. I only ground it right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide the gear in there. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to slide the bearing inside the gear, just like that. It's so tight. It is so close, but it fits. This shaft, we got to have this go back on there, and that goes back inside of there. And then our other new gear here is going to go on that thing. It may, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this the other way, because there's a collar right there. Looks like some kind of oil seal. So we're actually gonna take this and we're gonna slide it in this way, and then we're gonna slide this on here. Whoa, oh, this on here that way, and then we're gonna get it started in there. Look at that. And then before you keep going with anything, we're going to make sure we're not hitting anywhere. So we got, why did I just, oh boy, okay. We got just a touch of clearance up there, not a lot. And apparently these little balls will fall out of those divots if you're not careful. Okay, and then I gotta figure out what's next. And then we got this gear up here. That one I struggled to get off. That's gonna go on next. Let's get it all cleaned up. Get it all cleaned up, there we go. Okay, so this is going to go on here, like that. Of course it's hitting that gear, so I pull this back out. I tell you what, that's part of just kind of figuring it out as you go. Sometimes you have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it right. Anyway, this might take me a minute, but I'm going to get this gear back on there. This is one I struggled to get off. So, oh, there we go. It may not take me a minute. It may go right on. All right, now we're going to stick our clip on here. We pull off there.
Where's the partially assembled engine, Dad?
It's over there.
How much of it has been assembled? I'd like to see.
Oh, we can look at that later. Okay. Use a little punch to drive that clip on there. Now that clip is all the way on. Now we're gonna put this thing back in there for the 3rd time. Nope, it went this way. Like that. Don't lose those little balls out of there. sure they're important for something. The humbug. I forgot to put this back down there where it belongs. All right, pull this thing out. Or only pull it out to there. Okay, so what I'm doing on this other end down here is I pulled this piece off. There's a little roll pin. A little roll pin. A little roll pin that goes right inside of here. Pulled that off so I could push that shaft out. In order to get all those shavings out of there, I ended up cutting, or not cutting, I ended up removing the other half of the case to get it, to get all the crap out of there. It was, there was a lot of aluminum in there. That's right. Now we're gonna get this other case cleaned. Okay, then I'm gonna start assembling it, but I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna spray it down with brake cleaner and get it all nice and clean. So this thing's gonna go back together with the best chance it has of working. Okay, we got this piece all cleaned up, and then I put glue on it. So I use this, I'm using black silicone. That's what you use to seal these cases together. Don't touch the camera. Okay, it's what you use to seal these cases together. You don't need a thick coat of it, it just needs to be thin. So I put it on there, and then I just use my finger and spread it out all around the outside. So I got that all glued up. Now I'm gonna use a little bit of grease. This is that engine assembly lube I was using to put that engine together. I just greased my O-ring right here. That way it doesn't cut the O-ring when it goes back into this groove over here. Start matching everything up.
An angle. The camera a little.
Just a little one. Okay, then just give it a little tap, tap, tap. Okay, we're getting hung up on something. That's what it is. So what I'm getting hung up on is there's a little groove right there. I didn't have it aligned with the ball on this shaft. That's where I'm getting hung up. Let's see if this goes together now.
Can I help? You got a hammer.
Yes, Henry, you have a hammer. Please don't. Okay, let's try this again. Try this again. That's just like that. We just popped right together. So, if you're having to force something, figure out what it is. There's nothing on this.
Needs exact forcing.
There's nothing on this thing that should be forced. Everything should go right together pretty easily. I'm prying the shaft out so I can get it aligned with my keeper here. I get that keeper back on. I can remember how it goes. Looks like it goes like that. And then we got that dealy whopper. Goes right there.
That was that. Now. Rats, I was about to lend a gear.
Okay. You don't have to take that out. Right there, you don't actually have to take that out. I did, because I didn't know better. Anyway, Here's my box of bolts. We're gonna go ahead and run these bolts back in. Wanna help me put bolts in? Okay, run these in by hand and not with the drill, and then I just tighten them up by hand. Just give you a little better feel for how tight they are. Okay, I'm gonna pop these seals out. You always want to replace these seals. I ordered my gears through Trail Top, and they were gracious enough to send me new seals. Because one thing I really hate is leaky seals and oil leaks. And then I'm gonna pour some oil in this thing. Spin it around, make sure I get oil into all the bearings. I can't put very much oil in it because it'll just leak out the bottom. You can't fill it up until it's actually in the vehicle. But we're gonna put some oil in it, spin it around, make sure we have oil in all the bearings in there, because I just cleaned all the oil out of all the bearings. And that's that. We got a transfer case. That's how to put 3-to-1 gears in them. Not too hard, no real special tools, aside from, you know, hammers and pry bars and stuff, but that's what it takes. So yeah, you couldn't let's see, yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching.